Hello everyone, welcome to another evil Plotcast. Today I am joined by a very nervous one.
Hello, that's me, Avery, a very nervous one, me.
Also joined by Bullmarket. Bull?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello everyone, nice to meet you, and thank you MetaCross to having me here in this podcast.
Excellent. We also have Jarek returning.
Hello,
Jarek
hello. The Villainous player, as always, for 6 years running this game. Still good.
And Loki Gal.
Hey, what's up? I cannot wait for this topic, honestly.
Excellent. So today we will be talking about Treacherous Tides, the latest box to be released as of today, which includes two cross-session characters, Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean and Tamatoa from Moana.
Yep.
And we will be talking about our opinions of the characters, how they play, maybe some strategies, tips, and so on. So first of all, which of the two characters in this box is your favorite?
Definitely Davy Jones.
I would say
I'd say
Tamatoa.
I'd say it's very odd for me. I think Tamatoa barely. Davy Jones is more well-rounded for me, but Tamatoa is more fun, but it really changes depending on the day.
You know, it really depends on the character for me. I really love Davy Jones a lot. I love which we will talk about in minutes. But Tamatoa takes a little while to learn as well. There's more you got to learn from a different deck called the Maui deck, which we will talk about.
Yeah, of course. For me, my favorite character is Tamatoa from the movie. If we're talking about how they play, I think I prefer Davy Jones a little more. Although, mostly because Tamatoa is very tricky for me to play. I still haven't gotten used to how to win with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Davy Jones, as we know, his objective is to collect 5 treasure tokens. And what I think is very important for Davy Jones is that no fate card can get rid of the treasure tokens that he has collected. So that means that Davy Jones, even though he's sort of slow in his objective, also is inevitable.
Yeah.
So you cannot undo his progress.
Mm-hmm.
You can only slow him down.
Yeah.
Which is a blessing.
Mm-hmm. It kind of has the same, because I'm also looking up the wiki for Davy Jones and Tamatoa. For Davy Jones, it's a lot of a build, just like other characters that are like, oh, you have to collect this, this, and this, and this in order to win. It's kind of like Pete, Cruella, and Evil Queen in some way.
I'd also say because of the just mass, you have to kill everyone he's got going on. My first thought would be Scar, but a combination of Scar and Cruella in that way.
Yes.
Honestly,
Yeah, I also agree.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, with Davy Jones, you're almost playing a different easy Scar kind of, because you set up your board full of crew members, and they're very fun to use, and all of your allies are very great to use.
For me, the one ally I don't like with Jones, and this is purely in the game, obviously, Pirates of the Caribbean changed my DNA, particularly the Flying Dutchman when I was in middle school. But
Nice.
the allies are mostly really good. Hadris is obviously very hit or miss, but that's his purpose. He's situational. The one ally I don't like is First Mate Marcus. I think he's too expensive for an already really expensive villain. And other than Hadris, I don't see a purpose in using his ability that much, which isn't helped by the fact that his strength is also really low for his cost, or, average, but for Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think there's a few like ally cards that I like. I like Clanker because that's like, oh, this location that you have, it doesn't have a vanquish. It does now.
Mm-hmm.
Kraken is also good because it's like, okay, this hero had a treasure token. Let's not get rid of it. Might use it for another hero for another location or area. And as well as Bootstrap Bill. Bootstrap Bill, that one like comes in handy, if not a cheat.
I also really like a lot of his allies thematically, particularly Bootstrap Bill and the crew combined with the item, the Flying Dutchman, and the Kraken. Thematically, Jones just really does soar.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's definitely very well designed when you think about how the original story, the original Pirates of the Caribbean, is represented in the game, in the cards.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it also ties in with the actual legend of Davy Jones, the actual legend of the Flying Dutchman that is well known in a lot of sea shanties and a lot of tall tales and pirate lore and all that. So I like how it all basically just brings it all together as well.
Oh yes, absolutely. Davy Jones is like a classic pirate legend. And one of the things that always throws me off in this game is that I'm very used to... I forgot the name. The Flying Dutchman. I'm very used to hearing about the Flying Dutchman in the context of SpongeBob. So
Yeah.
So I always forget that the Flying Dutchman also appears in the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Flying Dutchman, have you guys ever been confused when talking about it? Because, as you know, there's a location in the realm that's also called the Flying Dutchman.
Yes, that's probably... That is, like... It's such a little thing, but it does infuriate me. We could have at least taken the word "the" off of one of them, and that would have helped. I think it would have just been preferable at that point, though, to make one of the locations not just part of the Flying Dutchman. We could have had, like, the Dutchman's deck, Davy Jones' quarters, Shoals of Shipwreck, and then, like, the Coast of Isla Crusades, or the Black Pearls deck, or something. It is just a very frustrating nitpick for me personally. And it sparked some very... It sparked the debate out over how the card itself works, and yeah.
It's a minor nitpick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely minor.
Yes.
But still a paper cut.
Yeah, it's minor, but when you're reading the guide, I remember I was a little bit confused with the guide explaining to you. I think the guide explains you the Flying Dutchman. Well, I just remember that when I first played Davy Jones, I was a bit confused on whether they were talking about the card itself or the location. And whenever you mention the Flying Dutchman to someone else, like for example asking about the rulings, there's always a little bit of confusion on whether you're talking about the card or the location. It's not major, but it's still something that could have been avoided easily.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of the rulings, the Flying Dutchman has a weird rule about it. The Flying Dutchman is very similar to other cards like Hades' Chariot, also, for example, the cane from Dr. Facilier, which lets you perform actions at another location while you're sharing the same location as this card. However, the Flying Dutchman is a bit stronger because it's not super obvious, but they did change the wording a little bit, and that means that you can perform actions covered by heroes.
Yep.
When I first found out about it, I was confused whether this was intentional or not. Because, yes, the wording was different from those other cards, which do specify that you can only perform a available action. However, with Ravensburger track record, you can easily imagine them sort of writing the card's description wrongly by accident.
Yeah, that's right.
That's another thing that could have very easily been avoided. It does feel like a lot of, and I don't mean any hate towards Ravensburger here. I think they have made wonderful villains. Sure, some balancing has been off, but I think in general they have given us really good villains, very imaginative ones, with concepts that are just so crazy. And Davy Jones is a nice back to basics one. But Ravensburger's biggest issue across the board has always been wording of the cards, which at the end of the day is, a lot of the times, it's a minor detail. It's a Terran saying gain 1 strength instead of Terran gains 1 strength. But in a lot of cases like this, it feels like a minor oversight, like it was the first draft that they left on the card. And this one could have easily been avoided by just saying he may take a non-fate action, even one that is covered. Like, it's... I am talking a lot. I have a lot of feelings.
Yeah, to be honest, the Flying Dutchman would not be a problem if Ravensburger and also a little bit Professor Hall had a very concise way of writing the cards, like respecting how they write each card, so that when you find these minor differences in the wording, you say, "Oh, does this mean that the Flying Dutchman can perform actions covered by heroes?" Because if every card was written perfectly, then you would pay attention to any slight differences.
And mistakes are...
But but because Ravensburger isn't very consistent in how they write the cards, then you see a minor omission in the wording, and you think, I suppose from this box on, these type of cards are gonna have this new wording. They will no longer specify that the action has to be available. This actually happened with Introduction to Evil. I don't know if you noticed, but the Sword of Truth does not specify that it gives heroes +2 strength. It only has the +2 on the card, on the strength section. But the wording itself does not let you know that it gives the heroes +2 strength. So that's one example of Ravensburger trying to simplify the cards. And it makes the Flying Dutchman all the more confusing.
There's a couple... I'm sorry, I keep going. There's a couple things where, like, I can see that simplifying work. Like, saying non-fade action instead of you cannot use X card to perform fade actions. Like, okay, that's a nice way to simplify it, even if now there's contradictions. But yeah, there are a couple of cases, including this one, where it's like, hey, maybe we could clarify this, whether in the guide or on the card itself or in the instructions, like in the back, you could put like small card clarifications that would be too much room on the word itself, rather than have us still debating about how Bravo Bravo works. What, 3 math years later?
Yeah, yesterday I was actually playing against Jarek Sox,
Yep.
and I was JB Jones, and I forgot you could use the Flying Dutchman to perform actions covered by heroes.
Yeah, I did it
maybe
once.
that would have helped me, but I ended up losing that match. And the next match, Jarek did play with Davy Jones
Yep.
and did use that ability, and he ended up winning.
Yeah. Pretty easily. Yep.
Wow.
Humility.
To be fair, Jones, it can be hard to win with. Inevitable, yes, but speed and fading are not really his strong suits.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
sometimes, like his strong fates are usually the heroes, and sometimes the effects, but mainly his effects don't do a lot to him during like his beginning of the game, because you have like 3 Calypso's Love, which drops his power to 2. You have 3 Cursed Jack Sparrows, which just does nothing if there's no heroes and no trigger tokens on them.
Yeah.
And then you have 3 Warders of Points. Yeah. Three effects, 3, 6, 9 effects, 10 the Black Pearl, which is an item, and then you have the 5 heroes.
I do appreciate just 5 heroes, considering how difficult Jones's board control can be, though part of me wishes Cutler Beckett were like this weird push and pull hero instead of having 3 Calypso's Loves. But
Ooh.
that's the point.
Yeah, if you had Cutler Beckett in it, then it kind of adds another level of difficulty they have to work around. Or
Exactly.
It's another obstacle they have to try and get over with.
Yeah.
I do wish the chase didn't have to move the hero to a location with an ally for that very reason. I don't think it's like horrifically unbalanced, but I do think that it's, just one more annoyance for Jones himself.
Yeah. So, I don't have that much experience with Davy Jones. So, what are the best strategies with Davy Jones?
Okay, I'll give you a couple of ones. For example, you have like all your crew members everywhere. You put them everywhere on each space so you can get a high strength boost, so they can be around 4 strength, for example. Sometimes I would always have Marcus on the board so they can get the strength boost as well, which is a fair play. And for Flying Dutchman, you could do extra plays. You could do a double vanquish if you have 2 trigger tokens that are revealed and nobody's not even noticing. So you could collect 2 in one turn.
Yep.
Which is crazy. You could also potentially stack your heroes at one location so you don't have to worry about getting hit too much, but you do have to discard a lot because you do have 5 DA for deaths. But but you don't want to swamp yourself too much with heroes, because then you'll be in a little bit of a pain.
Yeah. I think
that's it.
Please go. Oh, okay. I think the biggest thing for me as Jones has been, set up that board early, get the crew out, get the Dutchman out, get the Kraken out. have Bootstrap Bill ready to go, probably in your hand, so Will's not discarding him too early. I think the biggest thing for me as Davy Jones has been twofold. Number one, control your heroes, make sure Jack Sparrow and Will Turner in particular are at good locations, make sure your treasures are funneled into the Kraken, or, Marcus and whatever other allies for the music box. But the biggest thing has just been, because the Fate deck isn't too nasty, you can focus entirely on what treasures are you pulling out, and you need to be understanding which treasures you have, how they affect you. And okay, so I've already got Jack's Compass. That means I've got the other 4 treasures. This could be Music Box. This could be the key. This could be the heart. So I need to play and or discard everything before I reveal it in case it's the key. I need to wait on gaining power until it's the heart. I need to make sure I have other allies there in case it's the Music Box. And that's really the biggest thing to remember when I'm playing Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would honestly agree with, location of heroes, because I think it's good to have on hand some of the effects or some of the conditions. Like, for example, the black spot. I think it's good to have on hand, and only use that when you have at least 2 or 3 heroes that have a treasure token. If they do have a treasure token, then it's okay, now I can use this so that I could get that, and then just kind of have having conditions on hand is actually really really good in this type of gameplay. I'll take that as a no. Taking back cards that was in your discard and then putting it in your hand. And the Wake the Kraken, you instantly find that for free instead of paying this amount of power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really do love his conditions a lot. Wyvern Speaks is definitely one of his best ones, so you can churn through his deck a lot. When somebody plays an ally, you draw 3, discard 2. Here's all it comes in clutch as well. It's very nice. And somebody discards 2 or more cards. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The other thing is revealing treasure tokens, trying to wait on that until either you can't be fated before you can defeat the hero, or if you can defeat the hero on the next turn, because Curse You Jack Sparrow is a lot like the Claw in Lotso's deck in that sense, where it's this is the most painful fate you can experience, so don't experience it. Make it useless.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, of course.
Honestly, Crucial Jack Sparrow is not really that big of a deal once you have if your turn token is not revealed, it's just going to be going to a random hero and it's just going to stay face down, so you're not going to know what it is. But it's not even that bad of a fake card anymore. So, but it's only bad when the token's revealed and you have to do it again. So,
yeah,
it can't hit an unrevealed one. Oh no, it can.
It can, but it will just be random. So,
yeah.
And you'll give it to another hero, basically.
Yeah, all it can do is maybe move, if there's a hero at a different location or with more strength, especially Norrington or Will. But yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah,
especially yeah. There's actually some interesting matches you can do with Davy Jones. No kidding. I actually had a Hades Davy Jones match once, and it's actually very balanced. No kidding.
Oh, that sounds like a great match.
What?
Yeah.
No
yeah.
way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was very close.
Very similar pace. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's actually a good match. It's actually a good match. Hades versus Davy Jones. It's a very good match.
They're basically 2 heavy hitters competition wise, so it's really cool just put them against each other.
Yeah.
I found Jones and Gothel can also be good, but Gothel, obviously, you haven't experienced Gothel. You are going against a god in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And, like, that goes with any experienced villain, but Gothel in particular is terrifying in the right hands, so.
Mhm.
But Davy Jones and Gothel, I've found, is a very good matchup.
Yeah, King Candy as well.
Yeah.
King Candy? Why King Candy?
Because I actually it can be very, very close sometimes. Like I've actually won pretty well with with King Candy because it's my second favorite. But like it's pretty. It can depend on hand size sometimes. It can depend on their deck order. But you gotta like get your objective fast as before you can do it, basically. But yeah.
See? And what do you guys think about Davy Jones' conditions? Because he has 3 of them, unlike most other villains that only have 2.
Yeah, I would want to go back on these conditions because some of them are actually good. Some of them are in your These are in your favor for sure. Wyvern Speaks, definitely. Drawing 3 cards, discarding 2. And I'll take that as a no, where you can find cards that you can take back into your hand from the discard. But then there's the here, placing a face down treasure token on a hero that doesn't have one. It's like, okay, now I can add this to the pile, so that way I have more of a range to get once my turn comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, their here is actually very important because I believe there's no... Davy Jones doesn't have any other cards that attach treasure tokens to heroes.
All he's
right?
got is Do You Fear Death, yeah.
That's all he has.
I think
Yeah.
his number of conditions, I actually didn't mind that we got like a little bit of a change up in how conditions worked when Ravensburger, came in with their very experimental way of handling their first 2 sets. I don't think it should be only one condition like Gaston and the Horned King. I don't think it should be Syndrome with 10 conditions. That's
Yeah.
but I think 4 to 6 slash 2 to 3 is a reasonable number for a villain to have. And I think that for Davy Jones, it does work. All 3 of his conditions do have a place. I'll take that as no is obviously very helpful. Wyvern Speaks, like I said, is one of the best conditions in the game and definitely one of the most fun to use. And they're here. I found it situational, just because there's so many Do You Fear Deaths and you're already using what's it called? I'll take that as a no for it. But if I get the opportunity to play there here, there's no reason not to. It's a very strong one.
It can come in clutch. Their here always comes in clutch if you have like 2 left or 3 left. So.
And since he struggles for power and playing cards anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think with Ravensburger, or Ravensburger, however you say it. I think it's a lot on the matters of, the people that make these games. It's them basically understanding the villain, like, okay, how do they work? What's their strengths? What's their weaknesses? And then, like, how do we fashion this playable character with, with what they have and what they don't have? Like, how are we going to pit him up against other people? Like, what are we going to do to not only balance out or even out the playing field, but also, like, what are we going to do to make sure that, oh yeah, this will be an expansion that people will play over and over and over again, or this will be a good expansion to add to the collection.
I think Davy Jones and I think Treacherous Tides in particular is a very marketable expansion because not quite as much as, say, Evil Comes Prepared, where you've got to where you've got The Lion King and The Emperor's New Groove, and then Great Mouse Detective as that smaller cult classic. But, Pirates of the Caribbean obviously has an incredibly devoted fan base, and Moana has a very strong fan base, as well as Tamatoa himself having a very strong fan base. So that's just fun to note.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
Tamatoa has gotten more famous in the last couple of years because of a couple of memes and especially a YouTube channel that uses
Schaefer
his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that just elevates him to meme status. And when you watch Moana, Tamatoa is not the main villain.
No.
No, it's not. But he's like one of the like antagonists, pretty much. He's like one of the antagonists in the movie, but he's also like one of the adversaries that's in that in the Polynesian stories of the character of the same name or of the demigod Maui.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, and he's one of the most iconic parts of the movie if you have watched it. If you haven't, then you probably don't expect him to appear.
Yeah. He's definitely the most classic Disney villain Moana has to offer. He's the one with a big personality. He's the one with, a very small but very direct plan. He's the one who doesn't get redeemed or have this big twist at the end. He's the one with this big villain song, which we hadn't gotten for 6 years at the time. This is a great discussion about Davy Jones.
Oh yeah.
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 So,
with Davy Jones,
do you guys have anything else to say about Davy Jones?
No.
No, not honestly, but it's just like I just love this character in general. I'm just so excited to play more of him, just to know more about these mechanics.
I'm really happy he's in the game. He's the best villain Pirates had to offer, and it's very cool to have a live-action villain in the game for the first time. There's something to be discussed about if that opens the doors too wide, but for now, I think it's just really cool. I think Davy Jones was incredibly well balanced and incredibly well designed. He's fantastic. I can't wait to see him start tearing up the competitive scene once he's fully added to TTS. And my only regret is that you could have replaced Jack's compass with a jar of dirt.
Nice. Before we move on, I would like to ask you guys, what do you think about the Kraken and when do you play it during the match? Do you like to wait until you can discard another ally to play him? Using which was the card?
Hadris. Wake the Kraken. Yeah, Hadris is the best. Yeah.
No, wait the Kraken. Wake the Kraken and Hadris, of course. Or do you guys sometimes just play the Kraken when you have him on hand?
Theoretically, if I've got the Kraken in my hand and I've got 5+ power to spend, obviously, there's no reason not to. But I am very rarely in that situation. More often, I'm finding the Kraken in my opening hand when I've got 0 power as Davy Jones, so I'm chucking him and I'm looking for other crews or for Hadris, so I can play him with Wake the Kraken for cheaper. Preferably to below deck.
Yeah, I would honestly say, I wait until I have more than enough power to play him if he's in my hand, but I'd save him I'd save him if I really need to use him. So it's okay, I am not progressing, I only have one and it's already been 10 minutes since I had the other one. I need to play this now and end this quickly.
Honestly, for me, you have 2 copies of Wake the Kraken. I usually just discard the Kraken and then go once you have a treasure token out. I would use the Wake the Kraken ability to discard Hadris, which will give me a treasure token, reveal one of them, and then move it over so I can do a vanquish action, basically, if you have Clinker on the quarters.
Exactly.
That's how I do that, yeah. Because the Kraken always gets played to your location for free when you play Wake the Kraken.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course.
But the Flying Dutchman is the expensive card I'm playing immediately. That's a must-have for Jones.
Obviously,
Yeah,
yeah.
of course. After having the Flying Dutchman, you will probably not be starved of power.
Yeah, that's when his game really gets started, is when he's got the Dutchman out and he's got his crew safe around the realm. Which I guess could be considered a flaw, but it's still, it's great to have a card that improves your game that much and that can't be discarded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, very well.
Yep.
So, if you guys are okay with it, let's move on to talking about Tamatoa.
Tamatoa!
Yeah.
So, first of all, let me say that when I first saw that Tamatoa was revealed, I did not believe it because, as I said, he was such a small part of the movie. I really wanted him to be in the game, but I always thought that I was always wondering, how could you make such a short screen time into a fun villain for Villainous? And I'm very surprised that they did it, even though it's sort of a simple objective. You really need to plan things out in order to win.
Yeah.
I was also very happy. I was saying when I was around before him that he was a very high pick for me, both ironically and unironically. Like, I knew that he wasn't super likely, but also, I don't know, he had only barely a little less screen time than Madam Mim. He was a popular villain, even if only among the community. He is a good choice, but I did not think they were going to put him in that early. I was really happy upon seeing the reveal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Honestly, when Tamatoa first got revealed, I was like, he's definitely, for me, the biggest surprise and the wild card, I would say, for me. Because I would not expect a side villain to have this less screen time from the movie and come in to just have an objective. Like, how are you going to make a villain like this? It's interesting.
I think that it actually offered for a lot of creativity. I'm very impressed looking at his deck because a lot like Madam Mim, they miraculously made it so that everything is about Tamatoa, and if it's not, it is about Lalotai surrounding him. No location in his realm is from another part of the movie. No card is from another part of the movie. That's incredibly impressive for me. And I
Well,
really...
there's only one card that's from another part of the movie. It was the... let me find it.
Is it Mini Maui? Wait, we're still upside down.
Yeah, still timey.
No, never mind. I got super confused.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
And while it does make me sadder that Gaston and to a lesser extent Oogie Boogie were so poorly thought out thematically, or rather, probably so restricted thematically so we wouldn't have to involve their more quote-unquote problematic or more likely unmarketable aspects, then yeah, I'm really, really happy with how Tamatoa turned out on a purely aesthetical and thematic standpoint.
Yeah, I would agree, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Yes,
fun.
it's especially funny that when you think of Moana and people, if you think about Moana and think about the villain, you will probably first think about what was the name of the giant lava
Take off.
monster?
Taka.
Yeah, you will think that if they bring Moana into the game, they're probably gonna try to make something about her. Although, well, she isn't really a villain. She's more like a victim of Maui's ego and stuff.
And also bordering on feral beast, which is an archetype of villain I don't really want in the game, but that's a discussion for a completely different episode.
Yeah, it would be like adding the Felon song from Winnie Pooh or something like that.
I could see those being there.
So, Tamatoa's objective is to have both Maui's hook and the heart of Tefiti. Oh my god, I do remember Tefiti's name when talking about the heart of Tefiti, but not on its own. That's so weird.
Well, those are two different things.
That's a little weird, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, have both of those items on Tamatoa's lair.
At the bottom of his lair. Very
At the bottom.
important line.
Yeah. Yeah, very important.
Yes.
That's why it wasn't mentioned in the villain guide.
And something interesting is that Tamatoa begins with Maui's hook in his villain deck. So when you first find the hook, you can play it, and it actually helps you. It gives you 2 power whenever you get faded. However, most of the time that's not gonna last, because there are like 1/3 of the cards in the fade deck make Maui play Maui, so he's just gonna steal the hook.
Time.
And yeah, and so begins Maui time, which is probably the most important part of Tamatoa's gameplay.
Can I pose a question about that really quick?
Yes?
How soon do you guys play Maui time? Is this right at the beginning of the game for you? Or is this a Tamatoa's already got the heart, I can't let him have the hook too? Or is it we kind of see depending on how Tamatoa is being paced?
I think it's Tamatoa.
Yeah.
I always play it because then you can start playing the Maui deck, and then the effects of the Maui deck, well, Tamatoa player can use it in his favor, but also there are some unfavorable effects for him. So I always play it. And also, kill Maui is not easy. It's not an easy task. 8 is strange, and also if you reveal Maui shark head, Maui tail, shark tail, it gets stronger and stronger. So what I used to do is to play it as fast as I can. Why? Because also I don't want my opponent to get the 2 power benefits when I face him.
That's also true, yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather wait until, okay, they're starting to get to the point where, okay, they have one thing, they're about to get the other thing, or they're about to fake me or to stop me from getting this one thing. Then it's like, okay, I have this on hand, then I can use it.
Usually when I play Tamatoa sometimes, usually I would just set up a board with all the weird allies that he has, but it's good because the hook is free as well to play. But sometimes if you had the hard out, you definitely do want to fade him as well and play Maui out and bring him out and take the hook as well in the process. But there's little niche mechanics that you gotta have to think about as well with Tamatoa. He's kind of situational sometimes. but sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't.
Yeah, that's kind of the bottom line with him, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, you gotta play Maui time each time you find it, because most importantly is that Maui can block actions. And the best location to block is the very first one, because that has the 2 player cards.
Yep, the cliff set.
Right, yes.
Far away from the lair as possible.
Uh-huh. And with Tamatoa, Tamatoa has a bit of trouble getting power, although when he does have power, if you block the first location, then he will only be able to play 1 card at a time. And because he really wants to play lots of allies to set up the final vanquish, it gets very annoying for him to only be able to play 1 at a time.
I haven't found that he struggles for power that much, actually. The Maui deck has a lot of ways of giving you power, and you've got nice and shiny. He and Madam Mim are the two where I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I see why they have no gain 3 power action. Gaston, that's ridiculous. But Tammy and Mim, like, I don't know, I rarely struggle as Tamatoa for power, except, obviously very early in the game when I've only got 0.
Honestly, like, with the, if you struggle for power sometimes, like, if you want to, like, talk about the Maui deck a little bit, there is Lizard Maui, which lets you get power when you discard an ally, but if your ally is, like, very, very strong, you could get a lot of power out of that, which is very, very nice. But the problem is, as well, there's a couple of fate effects that will hurt you very, very badly, losing half your power rented up, which is up to upside as well.
Oh yes, for sure.
Yeah, still upside down is very tough to... It's very tough to see it being played on you, because there's specifically 1 card that Tamatoa loves that requires a lot of power. And that was... let me remember the name. You Look Like Seafood, which is very useful to defeat
very
the
nice
heroes.
effect.
The most physically violent card art in the game, I think, but...
I honestly agree. It is
It's up there.
Violent. It's like a one and done kind of effect.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
Yeah, it's very useful to get rid of heroes.
Honestly,
Yeah, there have been many times where I almost have the power to use You Look Like Seafood to defeat Maui, for example. And they play the... which card was that? They play Still Upside Down, and I just have half of it.
So, for example, like, you have, like, 10 power and you lose, like, 5 of that for pretty much.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Or 5 power, you lose, like, 3 power, yeah.
When it comes to seafood for me, I'd say like 2/3 of the time I've used it, it was just to get Hey out of the way. Because Moana and Maui are both strong enough already, they are being buffed by Sharkhead and Sharktail Maui. And so are my allies, which is, much cheaper. I've used it on Moana a couple of times. I don't think I've even gotten the opportunity to use it on Maui. Actually, once. But that's it.
Oh.
I usually use it for Moana. For Maui, I just think for desperate times, but 1 out of 10 times I use it for Maui. But I use it certainly for Hey. Hey, it's a hero of 2 strength, but I'm more scared of Hey than for Maui. Yeah, true.
I've seen him get to like 12 strength or 14 strength or something.
Yeah.
I've played a Hades game against Tamatoa, and I had a Maui's hero strength at 15 once. No kidding.
Oh my
15,
God.
yeah. 15, yeah. No kidding.
Yeah, this is... Well, of course, all of us here have a lot of expansions, so we don't really need to worry about this. But if you're someone that has only bought Treacherous Tides, you will probably need more strength tokens than the game gives you.
Yeah, at what point do you just start betting actual money and using that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Of
honestly
course.
agree. It's like it's a lot on the lines of like saving up your power in order to play these cards and all that.
Yeah.
Yes, so let's talk about Maui's deck,
Yep.
which is a key component of Tamatoa's gameplay.
I like that there's literally one Maui deck where it's like after you play this, you get rid of it, and then you just keep on drawing more.
First thing I want to say, I really
Uh-huh.
appreciate that Sven got into the game before Prince Hans.
Yeah,
That's good, yeah.
Of
That's
course.
true.
it's
That's
been
true.
Maui.
And I love that he's just Reindeer Maui. They try not to mention that he's obviously a character from Frozen.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fine in a couple months where you've just got two cards that look the absolute same.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Again, I just find it absolutely hilarious.
Yeah,
I don't like Hans that much, so I always use it as kind of a middle finger. Love it. I'm sure he'll be good in the game when he comes out, though.
Yeah.
So,
I
something
remember.
interesting about Maui's deck is that I find that a little bit more than half of them actually can help Tamatoa. Maybe not always, but there are lots of times where I'm like, oh yeah, I hope this card from the Maui deck is played.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
For example,
sure.
we have Sharkhead Maui and Sharktail Maui,
So shark card.
which both of them increase the strength of the allies and the heroes at the same time,
Shark Tail,
although
Shark
in
Head.
different amounts.
Yeah, it's just the conditions of those like
However,
to it,
Nice.
which is funny.
however, if you have enough allies, then Sharktail Maui is the one that gives heroes 2 strength, while allies only gain 1 strength. But if you have enough allies, then in general, allies will get much more strength than the heroes.
Oh yeah.
Which means that
Yes.
Sharktail Maui
Correct.
helps you most of the time.
Yeah, actually, just suppose that you have Maui in your realm, right? You only need 2 bats and 1 round of Sharkhead Maui and Sharktail Maui. Then you have enough strength to defeat Maui. So if you have more bats or allies, then you can easily vanquish all heroes in your realm.
Yeah.
Of course.
But just 2 bats. Just 2 bats to get rid of Maui.
I think it's very cool that you kind of have that gambling aspect. It's always good to see fish. Sea Star can be good. What is it? Full shark Maui is can be nice while you're still looking for the heart, which is its own conversation. I will say there's part of me that wishes that the opponent could play the Maui deck every now and then. But I understand why it is the way it is, especially since you are being forced a lot of the time because of Maui himself. And I mean, I've played not exactly Maui time like twice, so usually I am being forced. And yeah, so I get why it is the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
That
Of
Maui,
course.
one of the best moves that you can have with Tamatoa is that if you're looking for the heart, and you just get Shark Maui, and the base card that you reveal is the Heart Maui, is the better feeling that you can have in that game, really.
Yeah.
There was a time where I did had Shark Maui just like pop up once, and then I actually draw the heart, which gave me my objective, which is lucky. Yeah.
Always a good feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, playing
What
fate
something
actions on
lucky.
yourself is super awesome when they actually help you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, with Shark Mode, is that when you play the top fate card yourself, like for example, you could just replay Maui, just move him somewhere, and then use get rid of strength off, which replays him. Or you could do which is if it's escape, you can move a hero to a different location, or you can move one of the items, yeah. Or you can use if mini mods revealed, you can actually manipulate your Maui deck, for example.
Yeah, there's a lot of good.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot that it can help you, but then also a lot that it can hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and even when you get a bad card, for example, something shiny, you choose where it goes. So you can maybe you were planning on going to a location with a hero that turn. So you can just play something shiny to that location and pretty much get rid of it for free.
Yeah.
Or control where Moana goes so that she can't steal the heart back.
Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
Actually, you can get super lucky, and when you have already defeated Moana and have the heart, and if you somehow get to play Moana yourself again, she does not attach the Heart of Tefiti to her if she's not at the same location.
Exactly.
So that way you can just get rid of one of the worst fates you can get.
Yeah.
How about Beetle Maui, though? Ugh.
Oh boy. Ew. Yeah. Ew.
Yes.
Not even
That-
that devastating.
Remember all the strength and all the highlights, it's horrible.
It's not even that devastating as Tamatoa for me to see Beetle Maui. Like, it's annoying, don't get me wrong, but the big thing is me, Avery, the player, having to deal with the strength tokens. And I know MetaCross,
Yeah.
you had to like make Beetle Maui like a page long on the errata because of just we need to make this as random as possible.
Yeah.
You make very random.
Doing the
Yeah,
Lord.
whenever I play Beetle Maui, I always use dice to choose which player goes first in real life. So I have my dice next to me. So when Beetle Maui is played, I just roll a die and choose one of the allies randomly so that I don't have to take off the strength tokens.
Mm. That's
yeah.
For example, I have 4 allies and I just say, okay, you're 1, 2, 3, 4. And roll the die and okay, the 3 appears, so I gotta play the 3 monster. And
Yeah.
the nice part about Beetle Maui is that it's not super bad because you can use it to relocate your allies sometimes and it actually helps you. And some other times you can just make sure that the special allies are placed at locations where you need them. And you can place the bats any place, any other location, because you know that whenever you play another ally, you can move all the scattered bats to that location.
Yeah.
So you can easily fix the problems that Beetle Maui has you.
How I usually resolve Beetle Maui is I take the strength tokens off of them and like set them aside in order because I know, okay, there's my fish monster and then I've got 2 8-eyed bats. This one was on the left, this one was there, and I keep track of it, which, you know, isn't the most ideal thing, but then I just shuffle them and then place the strength tokens as I replace them randomly. Which works, but I think it was a little bit ambitious for its own good when strength tokens are a part of the game. I know a lot of people don't like strength tokens. I do. I think they're a fun concept, especially for Tamatoa with the strengths just getting bigger the entire time. But I do think that they needed to kind of reconsider, okay, how much of a pain is this gonna be?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
What I usually do
In the
is
Rata document, I added a little section on the notes to help players and decide on the most practical way to resolve Bill Maui's ability.
Yes, thank you.
One of them was with a random number generator if you have your phone on hand.
Mhm.
Another was with your dice, and another was with was shuffling. So what you can do is close your eyes or maybe look at the ceiling and just start moving, was shuffling all the cards, trying not to move the strength tokens off of them, and then just try to order them one by one without looking. Although this is probably the worst way of doing it. Although it's probably the way you gotta do it if you don't have some way of randomly choosing them, like with a die. Because as you said, a very nervous one. The other option is to just take the tokens off and then shuffling them as normal, but you gotta remember which ally had this much strength, and also, for example, the bats have several copies of them. So when you get a bats, you gotta say, okay, is this the 3 strength bat or the 10 strength bat?
Well, what I do is I declare, well, the first bat that I reveal is going to be the one with the 3 strength, and the last one is going to be the one with the 10 strength, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a bad way to do it, because there's probably a right choice, no? You can say, okay, I first want to make sure the first bat that is played is the one with the most strength, no? Or maybe the one with the least strength. So that way you get to choose which one appears first. I'm not sure if there's actually an advantage in that decision, but the fact that it's a decision means that you really didn't choose randomly.
That's fair.
So yeah,
as long
it's a very annoying card to play when in real life. In Tabletop Simulator, you can easily just spawn a die and choose that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the type of cards that some board games have some of these mechanics where you have to pretty much act as if you were a computer randomly choosing cards when you're really not in real life.
Which, yeah, humans are really bad at that.
But yeah, apart from being annoying to actually resolve, it's not super bad for you. And sometimes when you only have a couple of allies, you can just place them back at the same location they were at.
The most annoying part for me is, dang, now I don't have Tree Monster where it can kill something and get the harder the hook to the lair immediately.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of these strategies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
As I mentioned, pretty much a little bit over a half of the Maui cards are beneficial to you. Bill Maui is one of those that can be good for you. For example, when you only have like 1 or 2 allies, you can move them to the locations with heroes. And when you have a lot, it's just a little bit annoying. The others, for example, Fish Maui, can help you because sometimes you cannot play the conditions. Especially, which condition was that? Fish are dumb. he's one of those conditions that
Yeah.
the other
That's
player
all.
sometimes tries to just perform actions that they don't really need to perform, just to make sure that you cannot play Fisher Dump.
Yeah,
Are activating hourglasses with no purpose is actually has a point now.
Yeah, of course.
it's very,
That
very tough
actually
to like.
happened yesterday when I played with Jarek.
Mhm. Yeah.
Someone was playing with Jafar and made sure to perform the activate on anything, just so they didn't perform only 2 actions on their turn.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to like you have a condition that just takes 2 of your actions. It's a bit of a like a bit of a time pace kind of, but not time pace. Like it's very tough to pop it sometimes. It's very tough to pop Fisher Dumb because like mostly a lot of people are going to take more than 4 actions.
It
Yeah,
really
the other
encourages Tamatoa to cover up his opponent's realm as much as he possibly can, which is always great against, like, say, Lotso, which, like, yeah, he's got the Caterpillar room, but he's got nothing else to perform extra actions. But Tamatoa
That's
is one
true.
you really, really don't want to hand him, or Lotso, excuse me, is one you don't want to hand him heroes. So it's a interesting push and pull for him. But at the same time, gaining 3 power is helpful, don't get me wrong, but it's not the most vital condition in the game.
It's not usually vital. Nope.
Yeah,
Not too
the
vital at
other
all.
condition is way worse. Not so tough. On paper, sounds awesome because you get a discount on all your cards on the next turn. But then you realize that there's only one location where Tamatoa can play 2 cards.
Yeah. I do
And
appreciate that it cheapens seafood.
Yeah.
so
it'll
most of
switch-
the time, not so tough is only gonna give you 1 power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Honestly,
whenever
A lot of his cards cost just 1 or 2 power anyway, so he's got a relatively cheap deck, so you're not going to find too much use for it.
Honestly, though, like with Not So Tough, which can be helpful for you is that it actually lowers the hero's strength by 1, so you can still do it by that. But also, you want to get a good discount on Sloth Monster and Tree Monster, which are his 2 most best allies, and Fish will help you out as well. And Crustacean for because it also costs 3, so we'll give you 2.
That's the big one.
of course.
Oh boy. How Crustacean? How do you guys feel about the about having to get the heart out via Crustacean? Oops.
That's kind of hard because it's like, okay, I have it, but then again, next thing you know, when I'm faded, it's like, okay, I got a hero. They're gonna do any means necessary to get that the item.
The heart, yeah. Yeah, that's the hard part for Tamatoa, usually, to get the heart out. That's the hard part for him. Because you can shuffle your fake discard pile up if it's in there, but sometimes you're not going to get lucky. But if if there's like 4 fake cards, you are going to get it guaranteed, if possible. But somebody's going to fate you and then just discard it as well.
Oh yeah.
There was going to be times where if you are getting fated and escape and the heart, that's where you do get lucky, literally.
But that's usually only going to be like the first fade.
If it's the first day, yeah. But yeah.
Something funny happened yesterday when I was playing with Jarek. I was Tamatoa and I played Crustacean. And I forgot that the heart was on the discard pile and didn't shuffle the discard pile back. So I just pulled out
I sympathize.
what was the name? I just pulled out something shiny and had to play it on my very location. And then I think Jarek told me, no, you have heard of Tefiti on the discard pile.
Yeah, because it also says like you may shuffle your fate discard pile, but you don't have to. So it's this little key wording. Yeah.
Speaking of little key wordings, shuffle your fate discard pile into your deck. If I had a nickel for every time I've seen somebody question if it's the villain deck.
Yeah. God.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's like,
When you
on the one hand, it's a very obvious no. Like, I don't know why that would be a thing. You couldn't play those cards. But on the other hand, it's a, hey, that's such an easy change. Like, goodness.
Yeah.
of course. For the Maui deck, we have also Hey Hey Maui, which is one of the most scary ones to get.
Yeah, I laughed at that one. I'm like, okay, you got that one, and now you got to get rid of it, and then you have to draw 2 more.
And then play them, yeah.
Honestly,
Especially because its ability triggers when you play not exactly Maui time.
yeah, you gotta immediately play it when it's revealed.
Yeah, you're forced to play it. Sometimes with not exactly Maui time, you get the Maui card that you don't really like at the moment, so you can just discard it. But with Hey Hey Maui, he doesn't care.
I also like that it can play itself because it's discarded.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's the only like tangible use I ever find in Mini Maui. Because like Mini Maui sounds good on paper, which, you know, that's good. The card game's made out of paper. But it sounds good. You get to control Tamatoa's Maui deck until you realize A, a lot of the Mauis are going to be helpful for the crab. B, if Maui's out, those are just going to keep on coming out. So the order I've found doesn't often matter for me. So I usually just, oh, hey, Maui's on top. I'll just pop him on top. But otherwise, I don't really find much use for Mini Maui otherwise.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't usually find it like Mini Maui like that helpful to me. It's not really usually like one of its best fake cards at all. Only if you get Shark Maui you can manipulate it, but that's about it. So
Yeah.
But
the next card is Lizard Maui, which is the one that makes Tamatoa discard an ally from the realm and gain the power equal to the strength.
Yeah.
Very good.
That one isn't bad. It's a bit annoying
really
when you already have enough allies to defeat a hero.
Yeah.
I think...
But since you get the power back, then there's this rule on Villainous that pretty much each ally has a strength equal to their cost +1. However, with Tamatoa, there are a couple of allies that have exactly the same strength as their cost.
I think it's
which
all
means
of them.
that this Maui card just makes it so you're able to replace the ally that you discarded.
And if Shark Tail and Shark Head have been coming out, you are getting such a massive payout. I think I mentioned earlier I've only used seafood on Maui like once, and I think it was I had been getting shark-tailed and shark-headed and shark-tailed and shark-headed because of Nice and Shiny and all that. And then I pulled out Lizard Maui and was like, ugh, I don't want to do this. And then I looked down and realized Tree Monster would give me more than enough power to Seafood Maui immediately. So it can be very, very nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially like there's situations with Lizard Maui as well. If you don't want to get rid of your powerful allies like Tree Monster or Sloth, you can just get rid of a weak bat and just get it and just just take it. Just get a 1 power. There's some risks in there.
Yeah. And it gives you one less ally you have to deal with when Beetle Maui comes out. That's always nice.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm being mean. I'm being mean.
Yeah.
Fine, it's fine.
Ironically, one of the worst cards I believe in the Maui deck is Big Maui, which makes you lose 3 power.
Yes, I saw that
and
one.
you
I
draw
was like,
4 cards.
oh man, I have
Okay.
to draw more cards.
First of all,
I have to draw more cards. Just ugh.
First of all, why is the word immediately in the wording? Take that out, please. For the love of all things holy. But yeah, no, Pig Maui is probably the most devastating regularly, because that's a whole crustacean with the power of creation you can't play now. And a bunch of cards in your hand that probably aren't crustacean and that are usually just more not exactly Maui times or powerless or I'll tell you in song and just a bunch of useless stuff in your hand. It's very rare that I enjoy having a bigger than average hand size.
Honestly, though, with Pig Maui, usually if you still have 0 power, you still draw 4 cards. But the problem with that one is that if you get hit by upside down, have 10 power, lose 5, and then Pig Maui comes out, bam, all that power is gone. Like literally, that's a big.
It's like
big
no.
problem.
Yeah, that can be just.
That can be brutal.
Of course. And sometimes it is annoying to have that many cards in your hand because Tamatoa can only play 1 card at a time, most of the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't want to go to the discard location because there are times where you actually draw cards that you want and you think, oh, I really gotta wait until I get to play these cards. Although maybe you have one card left in your deck that you want to get to. But still, you look at your hand and say, no, but I really want to play these cards before I discard them.
Yeah.
So it's a bit weird to play it. Something good about Big Maui is that if you don't have 3 power, then you don't lose that much.
Yeah, you still get the 4 cards still.
Yeah.
So you're stuck with 4 extra cards. And yeah, sometimes, as I said, you don't want to discard them because you say, oh, I gotta save these allies to play them later, or maybe you get crustaceans.
It reminds
But you also say, oh, I want to get to this other card in my deck.
It reminds me of Gaston a little bit, where he's got 2 different cards that clog up his hand.
Yes.
And you're kind of stuck between, okay, Swoon is replacing an obstacle, so you don't want to do that. And LeFou is massively clogging your hand, but you can also just keep him around as a anti-bell drone, but then you're left with 3 cards. But with Tamatoa, that's not really the case because, he's got... It's very different, but there is an overlap that I observed and then talked about without thinking.
Yeah.
So yeah, Big Maui, it's one that can sort of help you and can sort of hinder you.
Yeah.
The next one is Reindeer Maui,
Hey,
which
Maui.
is sort of a whatever card. It doesn't directly help you or hinder you. It can help you if you're trying to look for the Heart of Tefiti and you discard the top 2 cards from your fate deck and they're some other thing.
Your deck as well.
Yeah.
And also your villain deck. So most of the time you're just discarding 2 cards and it's like, well, nothing happened over at my villain deck side and over to the fate deck. Sometimes you think, okay, so there's a little bit more of a chance for me to play Crustacean and get the Heart of the Fiti out. But sometimes you a card from the Fate deck is a card that you really wanted to be in there, either because it's useless right now or because you discarded the Heart of the Fiti.
It's nastiest in the early game. But once you've already found the heart, Reindeer Maui doesn't really do much since a lot of cards in Tamatoa's deck are, and I say this kindly and positively, they are kind of interchangeable. But early in the game, before you found Heart of Tefiti, yeah, that can be... It can just, like, mill your Fate deck, but if you lose the heart or a crustacean, that's really, really annoying to see.
So yeah, that's one of the most neutral cards in the Maui deck.
Yeah.
The next one is Seastar Maui, which actually helps you. It makes it so on the next turn you don't have to move to another location. So you can either stay at the same location or move.
The flexibility is
Pretty
really...
useful.
But honestly, because it's being played at the beginning of my turn a lot of the time, I don't always find it the most useful. Especially since there's very few times, unlike Maleficent with her Vanish, that Tamatoa doesn't want to move to a specific location. But it's still really nice to have the option to stay and Fate twice in a row, or play 4 cards in 2 turns, etc., etc. So I'm mixed on it.
Well, the best part about it is that it's optional, so if in the next turn your location gets covered, then you just move out of there. And also, if you change your strategy, or maybe next turn you were planning on playing another 2 cards, but you really gotta fade the other player, then you can just move away.
Yeah.
So, Sister Maui is the one that always helps you.
Yeah.
Just by giving you an extra option.
It does help. It's kind of like a failsafe in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a great word for it.
Yeah. Right.
So next we have all the Shark Mauis. As we talked about them, Sharktail and Sharkhead help you. Sharktail has a little bit of a chance of making it harder to vanquish the heroes, but if you have enough allies, then both of these always help you. And in the worst case scenario, Sharktail Maui makes it so that you still need the same amount of strength to defeat the hero, because you gain just enough strength from your allies so that you're pretty much in the same exact situation as before. So both of these cards help you.
Yeah, they're kind of core of the Maui deck for me.
Yeah, like Sharkhead and Sharktail Maui, those are always going to be the best ones, pretty much. Because with those 2 Mauis, they're always going to give you +3 to ally or +3 to a hero, pretty much. So that's pretty much all you're going to get.
Especially because the next card, Shark Maui, can help you in... It can help you sometimes. For example, with Shark Maui, you have to play the top card of the Fate deck on yourself. And it is quite possible for you to get Maui Time. Or maybe the Heart of the Fiti. But with Maui Time, you can just replay Maui and get rid of all the extra strength that he's gained. And as we talked before, and sometimes Maui will have maybe 10, 12 strength. So by replaying him, you pretty much make him lose 4 to 3 strength. And depending on how many allies you have, maybe playing Maui Time wins you the game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Maui time. Tamatoa's Fate deck is neutral enough that it can, like, if it's not actively helping you, it's rarely hindering you. Like, if it pulls Moana or something shiny, you're at least choosing where it goes. It's not that big of a deal. Unlike, say, like Gaston, who would be completely devastated by having that sort of deal.
Of course.
I keep mentioning Gaston. That's just an observation, not really a point.
Yeah, it's understandable.
I think it's a fair comparison because Tamatoa is one of those villains that you have to set up everything so that you can win in, like, make all the progress you can in a single turn.
Yeah, he's a very aggressive villain.
Because while somebody else playing Moana or Maui time can set you back a lot when you already have either the hook or the heart already in place. Most of the game both Maui and Moana are gonna be in play, so you just gotta make sure that when you decide to vanquish both Maui and Moana, you gotta make sure that you're gonna win either that turn or the next one.
Yeah.
So it's very similar in that sense to Gaston and characters like Lotso, because they aren't super affected. Well, Gaston is affected by the Fate actions for the whole time, but Lotso specifically, there comes a point where Lotso doesn't care if he gets faded.
Yeah. The only things that can hurt are Andy's looking for us, or Spanish mode, or One Way Out.
Yeah, and with these three characters, you just gotta make sure that when you're planning to win, you have to make sure that you win either this turn or the next one. For example, Lotso can perform a combo to get rid of a lot of the hero strength in a single turn. With Gaston, you gotta make sure that you have the right cards in hand to maybe get rid of 4 obstacles in a single turn or something like that.
Yeah.
It's the same with Tamatoa. You gotta make sure that when you get rid of Maui and Moana, that they don't get played again.
Yep.
Right.
Which is one of the reasons why I find Tamatoa to be very tricky to play, because I always forget what is the right setup in order to win. And sometimes I end up vanquishing Maui before I should, and he gets played again, and I lost all of these allies when vanquishing Maui, and I gotta play them again.
And if Maui's getting heavy protection, it's really easy to lose track, or, Moana, vice versa, etc. It's really easy to lose track of the fact that the heart is getting escaped to the cliffs. And, okay, I've got the hook. Oh, wait, now I have to spend probably 2 turns moving this item back. Which can be annoying to deal with. I think that was, like, one of my biggest mistakes the first few times, was just not keeping track of both at once. But I really do think that once Tammy's in TTS, he's going to be a quiet but effective part of the competitive scene. Just, again, in the right hands, completely tearing up whoever he's against.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm looking at the wiki right now, but it apparently says this: Planehead can bring to mind a casino or a flashy pinball machine. Which the character will probably love. It says both are so shiny. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Shiny.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it can be fast or very slow. That depends on the style.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course, and also you can get very lucky and play the Heart of Tefiti super quickly, and maybe you get the. Excuse me.
Pussy, yeah, pussy, yeah. You're good.
Yeah, get the Heart of Tefiti very quickly and play the hook, and maybe you have enough power to get rid of Moana without using allies with. Oh,
With
remember
seafood, yeah.
which with seafood,
Yep.
and you win immediately.
Yep. Yeah, and there is times where you can use your big allies, for example, with as Tamatoa. Like for example, I know Bone Cage is going to probably be covered once in a while because that's a prime vanquish. But say for example, you already have the heart at your lair. You play the tree monster where Maui is at the cliffs, and you move all the bats over, and you vanquish, and you move the hook all the way over to the lair, which is big.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or you can just move, or if you vanquish, with what I put with MetaCross maybe last night, you move Maui over to the lair and just set up for seafood as well.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I think my other biggest mistake, and this is still something I tend to do, I forget about something shiny, not just covering actions, but protecting all the heroes at its location.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
that's annoying.
gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all have a plural? I call it something's shiny when I'm talking in multiple, just for fun.
I say just something shiny as well. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. Multiple copies, but that's not as fun.
Yeah, 3 copies. It's not like the worst in the world, yeah,
Yeah. I reserve
because they
that.
go away anyway when you're at the location.
Yeah.
But yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, do you guys have anything else to say about Tamatoa?
No,
Happy.
not really.
No. I'll say
I'm very happy he's in the game.
Yeah. I'll just
Yeah,
say
he's very interesting in the game.
I
just a
think
very surprised character.
I think it opens up for other smaller villains to come in, which is always really fun. I like when a villain can slightly loosen the rules without really losing the plot in that way, in terms of their addition. So yeah, no, just really happy Tamatoa's in the game. It's funny that I can put the Crabman against the Mistress of All Evil, and it's actually a pretty fair match.
So, before we end the conversation about Tamatoa, let's count how many Maui cards are useful and how many are neutral and how many are bad. So, Beetle Maui, do you guys vote that it's useful or does it hinder you?
I think usually for me, personally, if it's not like you have like 1 or 2, it's not going to be that much big of a deal. But if you have like multiple odds in one, you're in your position like to get to vanquish someone, you're definitely going to be a little screwed, probably. Pretty neutral, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
think
for me.
because of Fish Monster's range and the bat's ability.
Mhm.
It's just kind of a slight, well, that just happened more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. With me, Minnie Mouse is kind of a hit and a miss. So it's like, yeah, this works with you, but then, okay, this is not going to go in my favor. So it's always like that. It goes one way or the other.
Yeah. Roll of the dice.
Alright, so neutral. Fish Maui, do you guys think it's good or bad?
Fish Maui is whatever, kind of.
Yeah, it's good.
You can still get power.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Plus, if you have all the conditions, you just get 4 power. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if I've got them in my hand, I probably was planning on discarding them anyway. So yeah, or I'm just revealing my hand to the table, and oh no, infiltrate. Whatever will I do?
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
It's
Yeah.
not like Flora where like it's this constant thing. It's like, oh well, this is what I have in my hand, which you already knew because Tamatoa's deck is pretty interchangeable, and I've got a discard pile.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so we got one good one. Hey Maui, good or bad?
I would.
Well, Hey Maui, let's
Honestly-
leave it at the very end. Because Hey
Yeah,
Maui
leave it at
depends
the
on the
end. We'll
other
save that one
cards.
for last.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Lizard Maui, discard an ally and get that ally's training power.
It can be good.
It can be good, it can be bad. That one's so situational.
Yeah.
I think it's either good or it's neutral.
Yeah.
When you get the
Yeah.
power you need to do something, then it's good. When you don't really need that power, then you just get the power to replace that ally later.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's...
If Tree Monster is the only ally I have out, I usually groan.
Yeah. So I say most of the time this one is gonna be either neutral or good. So let's consider that good.
Yeah.
Pick Maui, losing 3 power and drawing 4 cards.
Bad.
Hate that one.
Yeah, it's annoying.
That's stacking more stuff, but that's adding more problems to you.
The best it can be is neutral, and that's not a good place to be.
So yeah, this one, that's the first bad, and strangely enough, it pretty much works as if it was a card that you play, spend 3 power and draw 4 cards.
Yeah.
So for other characters, that would look like, okay, this is like an okay card to play.
I want the choice to waste my power.
That's right. That's what makes it bad. So we got one bad one. Reindeer Maui, discarding 2 cards from both of your decks.
I kind of like it.
It's all right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, this is probably the most neutral card ever.
Yeah. Can be
It doesn't
annoying.
directly help you. It can help a bit to find the heart.
Yeah.
However.
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword, that one.
It's fine.
Sister Maui, which is the
Sea-Star,
one
yeah.
that you don't have to move next turn.
Good.
Yeah, that one
That's a good one.
is straight up good.
It's a
The
good
whole
one. Yeah.
series is just
Sure.
neutral.
Yeah, the best one for me.
We also have Sharkhead Maui and Sharktail Maui, which, as we said, most of the time those are gonna be good for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
If Sharktail pops up at the wrong time, it can be annoying, but like that's really it. It's a net positive either way.
Yeah. Because mainly your odds are going to get +3 strength.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got Powerless, and you've got Maui Time. Like it's good. Both of them.
Yeah.
Next we have Shark Maui, which I would say is like a 50-50 chance of getting a fate card that can help you, and a 50% chance that you get a fate card that can hinder you a little bit.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
only card I can think of that like you really don't want to see when you're pulling Shark Maui, because like Moana and Something Shiny, and hey, again, you're just like controlling where they go, so it's fine. The only card I can think of that it's like, oh, that's really annoying for me to see most of the time is still Upside Down.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the worst
Yeah.
one.
So
For the other ones, I mean, the worst one could be maybe Hey Hey or Something Shiny, because they block actions. But again, you get to choose where they go.
exactly. And like
So,
anything can be poorly timed, but
so
still,
what do we vote? Good or bad? Shark Maui.
Just a good kind of levels up the playing
It's
field.
all right. Yeah.
Right?
It's on the lower end of good. It's just peaking out neutral for me.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 10 Maui cards,
Yep. 10
and
Maui
5
cards.
of them are good.
Yeah. That
One
sounds
of them-
Got a
bad.
good half.
One of them we agreed that it was always bad,
Oh, yeah.
and the
Yeah.
other are neutral.
Nope.
And knowing this, what do you think about Hey Hey Maui? Knowing that there's a 50% chance of getting a good card and like a 30% chance of getting a neutral card.
I think
Oh,
that the issue with Hey Hey Maui comes down to choice. Because, like, even if I am drawing a good card, I'm, like, okay, now I'm choosing to play it. Hey Hey Maui is blowing through your deck,
Mm-hmm.
and, it's
Yep.
not giving you a choice. That's annoying. It can pull something bad. That's bad. But it can pull something good. That's good. So I think Hey Hey Maui lands on neutral for me, but more annoying than I think it is bad in most cases.
yeah. I would say Hey Hey Maui is more neutral than anywhere else. It's like very true neutral.
Exactly. Just like the chicken itself. Oh yeah, that's a very big thing with Tamatoa. I like that chicken. That chicken is good. I like that it has a completely blank ability that makes me laugh. It
That's
is
the
silly,
funniest
It's
thing
just
ever.
there.
and it makes me happy. so happy.
It's a good joke card, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
like
it's just
that.
that it's just there. No purpose or anything like that. It's just there.
I like that of all the cards Ravensburger could clarify in any of the villain guides, they chose to clarify Hey Hey. Like, thank you. But
Like, guys, this is not a reprint. This is not a misprint.
No, they literally did like that. Like if you look,
It's not even a misprint at all. It just does nothing, yeah.
It literally just says nothing.
Yeah.
None of them they make that chicken.
Like it's perfect.
and
I felt very bad
also-
when writing the newest errata because I really wanted to leave Hey Hey as he was, just with a blank ability. But I said, okay, this is the errata. I gotta be super formal about this, and I had to add no additional ability. It hurt
we
to write.
appreciate the sacrifices you make. I also appreciate that, even though I really like that it's just blank and that's funny, I do appreciate that I've seen a couple of people, when doing homebrew stuff or for like wacky villainous and stuff, they actually gave Hey Hey like a small little ability. Like, I think that, having that blank card is nice for that creativity, even if I'm not going to use it.
Yeah.
Very funny. So Hey Hey Maui is it's a 50% chance of getting a good card and a neutral bad card.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. Hey Hey Maui, it's like the most neutral card in the Maui deck.
Yeah.
So with that out of the way, we've talked about both Davy Jones and Tamatoa, the two crustaceans.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Project Crab Hands.
Both ocean characters.
Yeah. I think
The
this
nautical
was
crew.
first set to have an explicit theme all throughout, not counting obviously Filled with Fright. Which I think that's a very interesting note. There was never really a themed box before that. It was mostly just, oh yeah, no, we're going to theme the title to the headliner villain, and then everyone else is going to be similar. And then this, we've got Treacherous Tides. That's 2 ocean villains. We've got Darkness Brewing coming up with all the witches. Whatever your thoughts
Yeah,
are.
the Sanderson sisters. I'm happy for that one.
And we've got the Twist villain box with Success at Any Cost.
Ooh,
So,
yeah, that one's gonna be.
Interesting that they're theming the boxes now.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons for that is that this box only has 2 characters.
Yeah.
With other boxes, some had sort of a theme, but it only applied to 2 of the characters. And the third one was like, for example, I don't remember the Cruella de Vil box.
Yeah, you kind of
get-
had to.
Technically, that's
You
just-
had 3.
Yeah, it's
You had
like-
3.
Yeah, it's mostly 3 or 4.
We had 3 for Perfectly Wretched, obviously.
like
You
that.
had Cruella DeVille, Pete, and Mother Gospel, obviously.
Yeah,
But you've
Cruella
got
de Vil
this
and
very-
Mother Gospel
Chloe.
are sort of similar in their objectives, but also they're both women that are evil. And then you have Pete.
Yeah, no, I think
Classic
that
one, yeah.
That's just a character.
Bigger and Badder, you had the Pixar's. I guess evil comes prepared. They were all overthrowing royalty, but oh wow, overthrowing royalty! What an original goal in Disney Villainous.
Yeah, Bigger and Badder was the Pixar box, and then you had Madame Mim.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, if I had liked Sword in the Stone, that would have been so rad.
Heck yeah.
There's something interesting about this. You guys obviously remember what was Oogie Boogie's box name?
Filled with fright.
That was right.
Yeah, Filled with Fright was
Fright,
the
yeah.
first box with only one villain, with a solo box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really great because that's like the first ever solo box. Because my guess is with the Witches one, that's going to be a solo box because my guess is it's going to be just the Sanderson sisters, and
We've got
it's going to be that same kind of theme throughout in some way. But then again, when it comes to like the Disney villains, the more that come out, the more that are going to be explained and all that. Okay, what else can we do for expansions, etc., etc.?
I know that in the speculation channel here on the Let's Get Wicked Discord server, please join all who are listening who aren't on. I know that there was some discussion about doing Bellwether and the Monsters Inc. villain as Fear Always Works. And,
nice.
maybe a
Yeah.
space. I do find myself a little bit concerned with, hey, is this going to limit options? Because, oh man, Commander Rourke won't fit into a theme, so we gotta put him off, and oh no, the game's done. Like, that's my very small worry that I don't think is something that's gonna be super prevalent or relevant.
Yeah, that's the same thing with me. Like, if they ever put Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame in the Villainous games, then it's like, okay, we have to find other characters that are similar to him in terms of an expansion.
Like a judge, or the theme of this Disney game is race.
Frollo fits with Chernabog, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that would
Because
be
Frollo
freaking
is
amazing. Put that in with
religious
the
and
Fantasy
Chernabog
Sisters,
is kind of
and then
like
you
the
have
devil.
a full-on Halloween set.
Yeah.
But the
That's,
reason why I brought up Filled with Fright is that this expansion only had one character, and the next expansion, Sugar and Spite, was the first box with 2 characters. And when you notice, Sugar and Spite has King Candy and Shere Khan, and I always had the feeling that they were originally gonna put King Candy, Shere Khan, and Oogie Boogie in the same box. Why? Because both King Candy and Oogie Boogie have a candy theme.
Yeah. You've got that the big eaters there.
And Shere Khan is the tier villain that doesn't fit the theme of the box.
Yeah. I do
So
think
when
that it went well.
I do think that maybe like originally they're just going to 2 just so you can work on more different villains. Like I would say probably on that a lot.
I think that is going to be the primary thing. Obviously, it's a company, so money is going to be a concern as well. But the less cynical part of me really does hope that it was mainly done so that they could have more time to, to work on more villains, to better polish villains, and to able to get live action villains and the weird cases into the game. I don't know, maybe you could do those copyright issues. Please put Judge Doom in this game. Or TV villains. So I do hope that was part of the reason for Sugar and Spite and Treacherous Tides being our first two characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, originally when Sugar and Spite came out and I noticed the similar themes within Oogie Boogie and King Candy, I originally thought that this was like a one-time thing, that the two villain box. But then with Treacherous Tides, of course, we got only two villains again. So it really does seem that the standard moving forward is gonna be two villains in a single box, especially because in the next box we're gonna be getting Hans and I forgot.
Ernesto de la Cruz.
Hans and Ernesto, yeah.
Ernesto de la Cruz.
Yeah, Hans of the Southern Isles and Ernesto de la Cruz, which I'm actually pretty interested about because it kind of goes along with the twist villains. It's like, okay, what is a twist villain? How do you know this is going to be a twist villain?
I think that's more relevant to the next box's discussion, but I also want to say about Treacherous Tides, I think it was probably, from what I saw in the reception to it, it was the expansion that restored a lot of faith within Villainous.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I can agree with that.
When Ravensburger took over, they put out Marvel and Star Wars, and they put out Despicable Plots and Bigger and Badder. And those are obviously two of the most controversial boxes in the game's history. You know, Despicable Plots has a lot of wording and balancing issues that people are concerned about. Gaston is probably the most universally reviled playable villain. And Bigger and Badder is obviously like the big one that you gotta like figure out when you're setting up a competitive scene, because all three of them are so toxic in 1v1 games. So
It can be.
they were being very experimental. And then Filled with Fright came out, and obviously Oogie Boogie was fine. I don't think he made that big a splash outside of being the Nightmare Before Christmas character. And then Sugar and Spite came out, and I saw a lot of people be like, okay, this was a good one. This one we can work with. And I think Treacherous Tides really solidified, no, these guys do know what they're doing. They're just willing to get wacky with it.
Yeah, they're willing to do their research on these characters, and they're willing to say, like, you know, okay, what can we work with? And just cater with, you know, what people want to see with it.
Yeah, they want to apply like more imagination to and more key details to like how you want to play this, make this villain work, and like who's coming next. You know, that's one of my kind of good thoughts.
Oh yeah, and obviously, live action villains are such a massive addition. Like I said earlier, one that again I do have concerns about in terms of like, okay, let's add white man from a 1960 movie that no one's ever heard of in a business suit number 42. But like, on the other hand, Davy Jones is such an iconic character. The Sanderson sisters are such a wonderful addition to the game. Give me Judge Doom and Villainous, or give me Death and Tron. Yes. Like, there's so many good options.
Yeah.
It's just, let's know where to cut it.
Yeah.
So, Ravensburger, if you're ever listening to this podcast, listen to what we're going to say. Really do research on these characters if you're going to make expansions of them. Make them count. Don't leave out any details.
You know, they should make a box with the villain from Cars 2. And
oh my gosh!
And also the other villain should be the villain from Herbie. So that is a Cars team box.
What misadventures will you get us into today, Herbie the Love Bug?
Miles Axel.
I love it.
It's such a stupid choice in my eyes that I actually want him as a joke, but it wraps all the way back around to me saying, no, I actually just want him. He'd be so funny. Chick Hicks would also be a valid Forrest choice, I will say, but the racing is already taken by King Candy. So please give me Terrorist Car.
Oh, yeah. Yes!
God,
That would be really good.
so funny.
I want
It'd
to
be
see something that goes along with all of, like, the cult classics, a lot of like the underappreciated, the little hidden gems of Disney movies or Disney TV shows. Like, bring those all into light. I would love to see that.
Well, TV is such a natural addition. If you had asked me before Jones was revealed, I would have said, "Oh, they're going to put in a TV villain before they put in a live action villain." And
Yeah.
you know, I
I almost
still
thought it would have been.
relatively.
I almost thought that it would have been Barbosa or Blackbeard or something. But then again, I was looking at it. I was like, they might not do something for Barbosa, mainly because, like, okay, he's a character that kind of plays on both sides in a way, but it's all for himself. Davy Jones was a close second, in my opinion, when it came to characters from Pirates of the Caribbean. Mainly because he's just a so well-written character in that universe. Beckett, I was like, maybe not.
Beckett's like the main
Mostly because,
villain,
like,
but Jones
he's
is
the
right.
main villain in 2 and 3, yeah. But it's like, okay, but he was easily overthrown. Like, there's not a lot for you to handle with that. Blackbeard, I was gonna say a hard pass on Blackbeard because
Yeah, hard pass.
one, the history of Blackbeard itself is so dark and so twisted. You thought that it was something straight out of a horror movie, but when you look at Blackbeard in on Stranger Tides, you're like, okay, this is a lot to work with. I don't know how we can cram this into an expansion because there's so much going on. And then we have Salazar in Dead Men Tell No Tales. Again, just like Blackbeard, there's so much going on that you're like, okay, how are we going to cram all of this in? But then again, there's also like, okay, what are we going to do to make this feel like, okay, this character can't be broken in some way?
Also, I'm sorry, I just thought of this. On the subject of what Jones opens up, though, he is the first villain from 2 different movies, which I can't really think of another one I'd want from 2 different movies, but like, hey, that
Not
definitely
counting
means...
all the straight-to-video sequels.
Oh, goodness.
What? Oh my god!
Give me some
Because
Rouge.
Cruella de Vil has appeared in several
Give me
movies.
Morgana from Little Mermaid 2. Give me Morgana, because that would be interesting. See 2 sisters pitted together. That would be so freaking amazing.
It would be so interesting to get sequel villains, like literally.
You know something? Something I would like to do if I ever some people in the server have talked about it, about making like a reworked version of Villainous with better balancing, and because the original Ursula and the new Ursula are so different, I always imagine myself that I would add both versions to that version of the game and just replace the second Ursula with a portrait of her sister. Of Ursula's evil sister.
Yes.
For me, I don't want villains with more than... I don't want more than one villain per franchise, just because, general creativity and quote-unquote magic of the game does come from how much it loves all these different villains. So if you're gonna add multiple villains from one franchise, for me, it kind of turns into, okay, so we're running out. But with that said, you could easily just reskin one of the Ursulas as Sykes from Oliver and Company.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. It's a really good one.
Hey, something that is also important about Davy Jones, because he's the first live-action villain, is the card art. Because for every other villain, what they do is they take a screenshot of the movie and then paint over it to make it look like a pre-painting.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
However,
some
with Davy
there.
Jones, what they did was go for a style more similar to Marvel Villainous, where they don't really
Yes.
they don't really draw over scenes from movies or TV shows, but they just draw the characters in a very stylized way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
looks
What's really cool about that? What's really cool about it is the when I looked at the art style for Davy Jones, it reminded me of do you guys ever like read like the Pirates of the Caribbean like comics that you would get from like magazines or something like that? That's
there
what
are
it
comics?
reminds me of.
Mm.
Yeah, there were comics for Pirates of the Caribbean. If you look them up, like there was something for like the Disney Adventures comics or something like that, and like
Yeah.
they have a chapter per week for each volume that you get, and it was so freaking good. And it came out right like sometime before. No, it was sometime after the second movie came out. And like they were all the rage because it was like, you know, oh, we want to expand more with this franchise. We want to expand more with this lore, pretty much.
Yeah. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. I do have one nitpick with the art style of Jones's stuff. I don't like the fingers. The fingers all look too noodly. It's such a tiny thing. But there's just something about the fingers outside of Calypso's love that just doesn't look right to me. Oh, I also think Will looks too realistic. Like, I get it. Orlando Bloom is gorgeous. You gotta make sure he's perfect. But, like, I don't know. Animated Orlando Bloom can also be perfect. Just let him be a cartoon like Jack Sparrow is.
Let me check. Let me check him again to see how gorgeous he is.
He doesn't look bad at all.
Turner.
Nothing does, but
He looks super handsome in the art.
Oh yeah. As opposed to, you know, the Pearl members and Norrington and Sparrow and Elizabeth, they all look very much like, oh, we are making like this weird animated alternate version of Pirates. Will just looks like he was painted straight out of the movie. God, these cards are gorgeous. I'm looking through right now. The art in Villainous is so good, you guys.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, yeah.
Hey, something that was worrying me with Tamatoa, and they actually improved on this, is that even though Tamatoa doesn't have that many scenes in the movie, they made sure that every card art was different enough.
Yep.
Because, for example, with Shere Khan, there are a couple of cards where it's just Shere Khan's face, and it's very hard to notice when you're playing that sometimes you look at the card and you see Shere Khan's face and think, oh, this is this card, and you don't pay, maybe you don't pay attention, and oh, it turns out it was that other card that I don't need.
Yeah, Bravo, and It's Me, Shere Khan do look very similar. Yeah, no, I'm very impressed with how they handled Tamatoa. I do wish we got the one shot of him doing the baby girl thing where he's got like his claws under his face with that big old goofy grin. I wish we got that shot, but otherwise, perfect. Good job.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, another nitpick with Tamatoa. Escape should have been called a diversion.
Oh my god, it's here.
Diversion would have worked.
Very nice.
It's just one little quote.
It keeps surprising me. But yes.
Okay, the final thing I want to say about these two characters is that even though I love how they play, I love their card art and everything, I don't like how some of the cards are worded, because I make the the Villainous errata.
Mhm.
And I had to change a bunch of the cards because either they weren't super clear or they used wording that made it not clear whether playing certain cards triggered conditions. For example, there's James Norrington, which makes it so that when he's defeated, Davy Jones gains 2 power. Although in the original card, it says that Davy Jones gets 2 power.
Which
Why is that a problem? Because there are some conditions that are specified that when another player, my cat is here. When another player gains power, then you can play the condition, right? So sometimes when you play with someone else that maybe isn't super familiar with Villainous, they're gonna say, no, it doesn't count in this when you defeat James Norrington because it says you get 2 power, not that you gain 2 power.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I keep my Villainous Bible, aka the errata, by me at all times. Don't you worry. It's
Yeah, like we can.
especially after Sugar and Spite actually did a decent job for the most part of making things clear through card wording. For the most part, I'm not letting it off the hook entirely.
Yeah.
It was really disappointing to see so many little blemishes in the wording and sometimes big blemishes in the wording that made it feel a lot less professional and a lot less fun to parse through. It honestly, if I may speculate for a moment, I kind of feel like this is going to be an every other box thing, since from the brief previews we've had, it looks like the Sandersons are following a Treacherous Tides wording thing, while Ernesto and Hans do look a little more professional in terms of like they look more like Sugar and Spite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope they keep improving on the wording because I joked about it in the server that maybe in the next box they're gonna say something like, okay, when you defeat this character, you can skedaddle a card to another place. Like they just change the words that they have used in other cards, sometimes in other cards in the same villain, and it just makes it a little bit confusing.
If they do choose to use the word skedaddle, I implore you not to change it to move in the errata, but to change every other instance of move with skedaddle. Goodness gracious.
Well, I think that's gonna be it for this discussion. However, before we finish, I would like to tell a funny story about Treacherous Tides.
Please.
I live in Mexico and the expansions take about 1 or 2 months to be available here. However, Treacherous Tides took way longer. I always looked it up to see if it was available, but I just couldn't find it. I found one version listed on Amazon, but it was the Italian version, although the listing did not say anything about Italian. I just saw a couple of reviews that said, oh, this box is very fun to play and very nice, although it doesn't say so, but it is Italian. Although some of those people said, well, luckily I'm Italian, so I didn't have trouble, but I was expecting the English version.
Yeah, that would have been nice, huh?
And the funniest thing
would have
is
been
that
nice.
one day I looked up to see whether it was already available, and I couldn't find it as Treacherous Tides or Villainous. But then I was looking at the other boxes, and on the recommended section, there was the poster for Treacherous Tides. However, it said Ravensburger Crab Hands. And I clicked on it, and yeah, it seemed like it was Treacherous Tides. And I looked at the reviews, and it was the English version of Treacherous Tides, but it was titled Ravensburger Crab Hands.
Yeah.
So when I finally bought
my God.
my copy of the game, I got it as Ravensburger Crab Hands.
Well, to be fair, a lot of people have been getting sick of the alliteration, so maybe we should just start calling it Ravensburger Crab Hands. Oh my goodness.
Can't wait for Ravensburger Mexican for Ernesto de Cruz. Ravensburger Mexico.
Ravensburg de México.
Oh, I love it.
Ravensburger Mexico. Yeah, funny. That's just a funny story I had.
That is so funny. Thank you.
So that's gonna be it for today. Thank you everyone for listening, and thank you to all of you for joining us on this discussion. I hope you guys enjoyed this,
having us.
and see you later.
Awesome.